Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Pamela Osborne. That breaking news comes from the sentencing for embattled R&B star R. Kelly. A federal judge just sentenced Kelly to 30 years in prison for convictions of racketeering and sex trafficking. Kelly did not address the court during today's hearing. You're looking at a video from previous court appearances, as cameras are not allowed in federal court. Several survivors did talk about the impact of their abuse on their lives. One said she literally wished she would die because of how Kelly made her feel. If he serves all 30 years, it could almost amount to a life sentence. Kelly is now 55 years old. Westland police have a man in custody after a long standoff that started with the shooting death of a 41-year-old woman. Police say Tabitha Cornwall was found in a Jeep Grand Cherokee just after midnight, possibly trying to get away when she was killed. Cornwall's mother said her daughter was in a domestic violence situation. The suspect in the case barricaded himself in a trailer at the mobile home park on Glenwood Road. After several hours, police convinced him to come out, and he was taken into custody. Charges are pending at this hour. And we are in touch with Dearborn police following a hit and run that injured two girls on the city's west side. We shared the video last night with you at 11. The young sisters were trying to cross Ross Street on Sunday, June 26th, when the driver of a white Pontiac Grand Prix hit them both. Police say he stopped to move the girls out of the middle of the street, did not call 911, and drove off. The girls are recovering, but contact police if you have any information that may be able to help. The parents of another survivor of the Oxford High School tragedy have filed a federal lawsuit. The new filing targets the district and school leaders, and it's on behalf of Matthew and Mary Muller. Their 14-year-old son was shot in the hand and face during the school shooting last November. This is also the first suit to name Acme Shooting Goods in Oxford Township as a defendant. That's the gun store where Ethan Crumbly reportedly accompanied his father, James, to buy the gun police believe the teen later used in the attack. Well, Michigan's primary election is a little more than a month away, and it's time to make a plan to vote. And with the new legislative districts in place, you may need to do your homework to figure out who's running in your local races. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson was in Pontiac today. She reminded voters, even those who aren't registered, it's pretty easy to do.
Citizens who aren't yet registered have plenty of time to get registered. You can register in person at your clerk's office up to and on Election Day itself. And when you do that, you can also request your ballot and cast it all in the same visit.
Everyone is also eligible to vote absentee, but your vote must be cast by 8 p.m. on primary day, which is August 2nd. Well, we started off with some raindrops in the morning, but the weather seems to be improving and getting warmer. Let's check in with Paul Gross for the first forecast, Paul.
Yeah, hey, Pam, and I'll tell you, we really need the rain, and most of us did not get enough. I only had 11/100ths of an inch of rain at my house in Farmington Hills, and believe me, we needed like a good 1-inch soaker. It's getting dry. I'm sure you've seen the crunchy brown lawns out there. All right, 4-zone weather has 80 degrees right now in Detroit, 79 over in Taylor at Metro Airport, 80 Canton, Livonia, 82 in West Bloomfield. Down in our south zone, it's 80 Dundee over to Carlton, 80 in Monroe, 82 at Saline, and in our west zone, we have start to see a few upper 70s creeping in here, 78 over Milford, 78 at Flint, 79 at Howell. And then in our north zone, you see a lot of mid-70s, and then you get up near Lake Huron. Well, this is way behind the cold front with the cooler air coming in, upper 60s. Now, through the evening, again, except for near Lake Huron, where it's obviously much cooler right now, temperatures falling through the 70s to the upper 60s by midnight, but we're heating right back up tomorrow. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes, Pam.
All right, thank you. It was a dramatic day of testimony on Capitol Hill 24 hours ago. Now, much of the country is talking about the claims made by former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson. Counterclaims are emerging as Congress and voters try to find out exactly what happened during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Kimberly Gill is in the newsroom, and Kim, we're hearing new questions and denials, but Hutchinson, she's also getting some support.
She is. Good afternoon to you, Pam. That's right. Before yesterday, most Americans probably never even heard of Cassidy Hutchinson. She's a former aide to Trump's then chief of staff, Mark Meadows. Her testimony was a mixture of eyewitness accounts and hearsay, including a story she claims she heard from Trump security official Tony Ornato. She says he described a confrontation in the presidential limousine when the president wanted to go to the Capitol on January 6th.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Ornato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Well, that story is coming under attack because sources say Ornato and Secret Service agent Bobby Engel are willing to testify that no agent was assaulted and Trump never lunged for the steering wheel, but neither man is speaking with reporters, and it's not clear if they have ever been questioned about that incident under oath. The former president himself has posted his denials of all of Hutchinson's claims, calling her, quote, total phony and bad news. Meanwhile, Mick Mulvaney, who was also a chief of staff for Trump, tweeted that he knows Hutchinson and, quote, I don't think she is lying, end quote. The committee clearly has more digging to do after making these accusations public. Yesterday's hearing was the 6th in a series of more hearings. We'll have more hearings coming up in July, and we'll be following any new developments as they happen. For now, Pam, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Ukraine's president is putting public pressure on NATO for more help and more weapons, while his wife is accusing Russia of terrorism. President Zelensky is now sharing this video of a moment a shopping mall was hit 2 days ago in Ukraine. Officials say at least 18 people were killed in the Russian missile strike. About 20 are still missing and many more are injured. Ukraine's First Lady is speaking out using a translator.
This is indeed terrorism. We cannot call this any other name. Yesterday in Kremenchug, more than 1,000 people were in the shopping mall. This is an ordinary shopping mall. There were children and adults there, and you've just said how many people died. We still don't know their final number. We are all shocked.
Members of NATO are meeting in Spain. President Joe Biden met with Turkey's president to thank him for agreeing to allow Finland and Sweden to join NATO. Turkey had opposed the request, but new talks removed its concerns. Final ratification could take a year, and the invitation is a huge shift in European security. NATO also agreed to a longer-term support for Ukraine, but President Zelensky said he needs more weapons to defeat Russia. It was a morning show mashup on the Detroit riverfront. In case you missed it, Al Roker from the Today Show was hanging out in the Motor City with our Rhonda Walker and other Local 4 folks. Kim DiGiulio also followed Roker after the show was over as he went to sample some of the city's signature foods. Take a look.
Al Roker came to Detroit with 2 goals in mind. 1, to check out the nation's top-rated Riverwalk, and 2, to get his hands on a Detroit staple, the Coney dog. It was a whirlwind of a visit.
Detroit, besides being a spectacular city, it's also a spectacular sports town as well.
Al Roker first making an appearance on the Riverwalk.
I was kind of blown away, by the number of people who came to the Riverwalk, but the number of people who are river walkers.
Al's fans got a chance to meet him while appearing on Local 4 News Today and The Today Show.
I came to bust Evrod's chops, because he's so bustable.
We're actually going to keep him.
Thank you. And I've got a crush on Rhonda, so there's that.
And we all do.
Everybody's got a crush on Rhonda.
You are a Detroiter.
I am. Then he was greeted by Local 4's newest meteorologist, Kim Adams. And obviously, these two share a passion for weather.
It all comes back to weather.
It does. It really
And that's why Kim Adams is the nerve center of Local 4.
But after all that excitement, it was time to eat. Al sat down with the owner of American Coney Island to film a segment for his series, Family Style.
I love traveling around and meeting people, and the folks who are really these mom and pop restaurants are the backbone of this country.
His thoughts on this Detroit staple?
It's a tried and true recipe, but I also do think that there is something about the ambiance of this place that enhances the flavor of the dog.
It's worth the wait, trust me. And that's what makes it pop.
And of course, Al had to get fully involved with the whole assembly process, making his way behind the counter to see how these Coney dogs are made here every day.
There you go.
All right, one up.
Ready? Yeah, nice shot. Awesome.
Woo!
Good job, Al.
Hey now.
It was a blast having Al here, and you can catch Al's segment on American Coney Island in late July on the Today Show. We'll keep you posted on the exact airtime. I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
By the way, Kim Adams is doing some training with new exclusive technology with the rest of our weather team. Her first day on the air, including this newscast, is Monday, August 8th.